The developer update is here with some massive changes and some new long-awaited features. Kings and queens, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and let's go over all of the changes in the developer update for September of 2023. Anti-FaceCamping. This has been a long-awaited feature since the announcement on the official Dead by Daylight anniversary livestream, and it looks like we're finally going to be able to test it out tomorrow. They said that going forward, you'll notice a new meter appears whenever you're on the hook. This meter will gradually fill whenever the killer is near you. The closer the killer is, the faster the meter will build. Once it is full, you'll gain the ability to unhook yourself with a 100% chance of success, even during the second hook phase. Unhooking yourself in this way will grant you all the usual benefits such as endurance and haste. I know what you're probably thinking, that sounds great on paper, but what happens if survivors are forcing you to stand there? Well, they said to ensure that this cannot be abused by aggressive survivors, the rate at which the meter fills will decrease or potentially even entirely stop when other survivors are nearby. Additionally, once the exit gates are powered, this feature is disabled entirely. This is because at this point in the match, the killer needs to do whatever they can to secure one last kill, so we can't expect them to graciously leave the hook. So this is pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to trying out this new anti-camping mechanic, and it seems that a lot of people are a little bit on the fence with this one. I think we need to fully play test this one and see how it goes, because there's a lot of killers out there that are a little bit worried if they need to patrol, what happens if they need to keep pressure, etc. I don't think the bar is going to fill that quickly where you aren't able to just patrol around, keep an eye out, but if you're literally standing there face camping, you just won't be able to do that. Nonetheless, a great feature and a great quality of life feature moving forward, and hopefully this is executed right and it can balance well into the game. Speaking about balance, someone that has been annoying as hell to play against might actually be a lot better to play against now. That's the Skull Merchant. So the Skull Merchant is going to receive some changes as well, long-awaited changes I might add. First of all, they want to target the lock-on. Obviously, with the 3 gens, they said active zones being the main culprit behind the Skull Merchant's ability to defend generators are no more. On top of making survivors exposed, these zones provided the Skull Merchant way too much information on the survivor within them, allowing the killer to quickly react and chase them away. With active zones removed, the Skull Merchant's drones need a new way to lock onto survivors. Now, whenever a survivor is scanned by the drone's beams, they will receive 1 stack of lock-on. Upon reaching 3 stacks of lock-on, the survivors will immediately receive a claw trap. However, avoiding a drone scanners won't be easy thanks to the introduction of new modes. So there's 2 new modes in total. Let's go ahead and talk about those. The first one is in stealth mode. The drone's spinning beams will be invisible, and the drones will be much quieter. Survivors will want to watch closely for the lights on the drone itself to tell where the beams are so they can sneak up and disable it. And then there's scouting mode. The drone scan lines will be visible and rotate much faster, making them more difficult to approach or run by undetected. In either mode, the drone scan lines will not detect a survivor who is stationary, effectively preventing them from being used to guard generators. A survivor can interact with a drone in either state to disable it for 45 seconds, after which they will return to stealth mode. So that pretty much adheres to the problem of the 3-gen situation that goes on with Skull Merchant, which is really beneficial. We don't have to have these long, boring matches against the Skull Merchant who's just guarding 3 gens and the match goes on for 45 minutes. So that's pretty exciting, and we have to see exactly how that all works out in game. Now you're probably wondering, well, how do the claw traps work now? Let's jump on into it. Survivors who end up with a claw trap will find themselves on the receiving end of the following effects. If they are healthy, they will instantly become injured. If they are injured, they will receive deep wounds and will not gain a speed boost. The survivor suffers from the broken status effect until the trap is removed, and their location will be revealed on the killer scanner for a short duration. Additionally, survivors with a claw trap who are scanned by the killer's drones receive a 10% speed penalty for 6 seconds and are revealed to the killer with killer instinct of their location for 3 seconds. The claw trap's battery will expire and the trap will be removed automatically after 45 seconds. Along with this, there's a ton of Skull Merchant quality of life changes, which I'll be showing you guys on screen right now because there's way too many to go over. So there you go. The Skull Merchant has been changed, and I'm excited to play the Skull Merchant tomorrow, see exactly how she's gonna work, and see if this anti-3-gen idea really does work. And if you want to watch us playing her live, make sure you guys are coming out to Twitch, twitch.tv/theking. We'll be live every single weekday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the closing note says, combined with these changes, push the Skull Merchant's drone into a more chase-orientated direction, giving more immediate consequences when they are triggered rather than slowly building over time. At the same time, her ability to defend generators for excessive lengths of time has also been reduced substantially. We will be keeping a close eye on the changes and making further adjustments when needed. So all in all, it's looking quite good. Next on the list, we have some new map changes. First of all, the Shattered Square is going to be getting some changes. I'm so happy. I hate this map. I really do, with a burning passion. They said it's possible to bump into some small objects such as piles, hay, or carcasses. Since these obstacles were so small, it is possible that you could bump into them without even seeing them. We have done a pass on these sorts of objects to ensure that anything which might block your path is clearly visible. In most cases, making them taller so they're easier to see. Now, this is an interesting one. I do feel bad for some of the more ranged killers, such as the Huntress or the Trickster, Deathslinger, because you have to deal with more obstacles in your way. All in all, it would be nice if they just completely remove some of these things and just change the layout a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. Speaking about the layout, they said size and layout. Let's see what they've changed. They said this Shattered Square is among one of the largest maps in the game. On contrary to its name, it's not square, it's actually a rectangle. Well, that's great, isn't it? They said the size of the map can make patrolling a little bit difficult. To help with this, they've reduced the size of the map. The positions of some tiles have been readjusted as a result. They then mentioned a line of sight. Most obstacles in the map tended to be fairly low, making it quite easy for killers to spot survivors at ranges and difficult for stealthy killers to sneak up on survivors. To bring up these long sight lines, we have rearranged some tiles to limit how far you're able to see at any given point. So again, another interesting one. We'll have to see how it goes. Last but not least, they talked about navigation. They said that there's various changes to the map to make it easier to navigate. This includes making it clearer when objects can be walked on and which will block your path. So Shattered Square overall getting some changes. Hopefully they did it similarly to Area of Crows. I'm a big fan of the Area of Crow changes, so we'll have to see how this one plays out, and hopefully it's quite good. Next on the list is the Macmillan Estate. You guys know I love the Macmillan Estate, my favorite maps in the game. And they said our work on the maps don't stop here. The entire Macmillan Estate realm is being expanded. Each map in this realm has received a second alternative version. They said, what does this mean? They basically said the next time you load into Suffocation Pit, for example, things might be a little different. The trademark mineshaft will still be there, but it may be in a different spot. The shape and the layout of the map also might be slightly different. I think this is fantastic. I've been saying that all maps should have different variations, even if it's small tweaks, for such a long time. Things like this keep the game fresh, so I'm happy they're doing this, and hopefully they go through every single map and they do this as well. Next on the list are changes to some perks. We have Furtive Chase and Background Player getting some changes. First of all, with Furtive Chase, they said that they're increasing the terror radius reduction for each token by 5 meters. This used to be 4 meters. And for Background Player, they're increasing the duration of the speed boost to 5 seconds. This used to be 4 seconds. And finally on the list, we have killer tweaks, which I'm pretty happy about. Let's go through all the killers that are also going to be receiving some minor tweaks and changes, starting with my main, the Trapper. They said that 8 traps will now spawn on the map, thank God. This used to be 6. And they said the trapper will receive a 7.5 haste effect after setting a bear trap. This is absolutely fantastic. I mean, the potential to set up traps and chases now and then chase somebody is huge. I'm really looking forward to these changes, and I can't wait to test it out and see exactly how it goes. They said the Huntress and the Trickster will now have a reduced reload time. It will now be 3 seconds, and this used to be 4 seconds in total. Great information to have, and I'm excited to combine that with Iron Maiden to see exactly how it works. Next on the list is the Deadslinger, who now reloads in 2.6 seconds by default. This used to be 2.75. I'm interested in this. We'll see. They said they've increased the movement speed bonuses while aiming down sights through both the Jaw Smasher and Wanted Poster add-ons as well, respectively. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see exactly how it's going to all play out. And lastly, for the Legion, they said they are increasing the movement speed bonus to 6%. Every time you basically hit somebody, you get 4% movement speed. This will now give you 6%. I think that's a fantastic change. Overall, this has been a pretty good developer update. There is a little bit of everything in this one. It's pretty good help overall, and I'm excited to see how everybody feels about this, the initial thoughts of everybody, and how well it's received. I think this is going to be one of their better, more healthy chapters, or mid-chapters, I should say, and I'm looking forward, especially to the anti-face camping mechanic, as I think this will be a big staple in the game's history. Nonetheless, you can try all of this out or watch someone play tomorrow, and hopefully that person is me. Again, we'll be live on Twitch, twitch.tv/theking at 11 a.m. specifically tomorrow for the PTP. Nonetheless, that's pretty much going to do it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you're most or least excited about. I'm curious to hear your opinions and comments. I've read a few things here and there, but overall, people seem to be pretty happy about the changes. Nonetheless, that's going to do it for me. As always, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.